Welcome, everybody, to Cornubia Sports Complex. As Nothing But Net Media via Live Sport Australia brings you the QBL game between the Logan Thunder and the Toowoomba Mountaineers. I'm John Guan. I'm joined in the booth by Dan George and Dave Derwin. Dave, it's great to have you back in the booth for 2017.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I had some family duties last week, but hoops is back on the agenda. Welcome.
Yeah, we've got a pretty exciting game. I'm looking forward to this one. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the talent that Toowoomba has. Dan, what do you think of this matchup between Logan and Toowoomba?
Well, I'm looking forward to it as well, and you'd expect Logan to come out with a bunch of energy, coming off an ugly loss last week. They're at home, in front of the home crowd for the first time this season. I'd expect them to come out and really establish Mitch Young, who's coming off a 2-of-14 match. He'll be a focal point early, but I think you're right, Johnny. This Toowoomba squad hasn't really had much respect so far, but they do have some pieces that could do some damage. So I'm looking forward to seeing this one play out.
Yeah, I think one of the pieces that you alluded to there was one of their imports, Jalil Abdul-Bassett. Didn't have a great shooting night, but he still finished with 21 points last week. Dave, you're quite familiar with the Toowoomba squad, and particularly the other import, Jay Washington. What can you tell us about Toowoomba?
Yeah, I think they had a good game last week. I mean, against Ipswich and pushed the ball. I mean, for me, it'll be interesting to see, again, the imports take a little while to adjust to refereeing, teammates, etc. Paul Allaire was great for them last week, 17, 15, and 3. And then Jay Washington's a good distributor, so he'll move the ball and get everyone involved. So I think Jalil will be better for last week's match. And, I mean, Logan, Logan, they couldn't have been any worse last week. 27% from the floor, turned it over 18 times, out-rebounded. It was ugly, so yeah. I'm expecting a big first quarter.
I talked to Coach Rucker at halftime of the women's game. He just said they couldn't make a shot. Dan, what does Logan have to do to get on track after that tough loss last week to Spartans?
Well, you don't want to pretend it didn't happen. You got to obviously acknowledge what you did wrong, but I think you just put it to the side and start afresh tonight almost. Like we said a second ago, Mitch Young, I think he's a great player in our league especially. I would expect him to be the focal point, so I'd come out. If I was Coach Rucker, you want to see your guys get through your system, run your sets, execute well, and get shots for the right guys in the right spot. Lock in defensively and really set the tone. That's what I would expect tonight, and I think they'll do that. He'll have them ready, Coach Rucker, after last week.
Yeah, Coach told me during the week he was really in their ear. He was telling me he rewatched that game 2 times a day just to see what went wrong. They have a bit of talent on this Logan team. We mentioned Mitch Young. The other guy who struggled, though, last week for Logan was Mick Cedar. Mick Cedar had a great season last year. He really carried Logan at times. He also needs to step up tonight for the Thunder.
Yeah, I think it's a fairly similar looking group to last year, so there's a fair bit of continuity in the group. Obviously, Salicic comes in, which is handy. I think tonight too, Toowoomba don't shoot a lot of threes. I know the sample's 1, but they were 6 of 15 last week. And I don't think they've got a great deal of shooters. So I mean, again, if I'm Ruck, I'm packing the paint tonight and letting them beat me from the outside.
All right, we'll take a quick pause for the Australian national anthem. Great rendition there of the Australian national anthem. I love when you have someone singing it live. It just brings that little extra, doesn't it, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see the Logan. And I think a lot of the southern teams are trying to do that now, which is great, and unearth talent off the floor.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of talent on this floor here tonight. You were talking a little bit before the anthem about some of the new faces, in particular Salicic. I like the addition. He didn't really produce for them, though, last week, but I thought that was one of the things that they were missing, a true point guard, and that is certainly what Salicic is.
Yeah, and he's kind of that combo, too, actually, I think. And I think he was good for them good for Goldie last year. So I think that's certainly a nice addition, and obviously they lose Illa Baldwin. in the middle, which helps, hurts them a little bit. But again, we'll see how they go. Maybe they want to play a bit more up tempo this year.
Dan, what do you know What do you know about the Logan Thunder? They've got a big guy also in the middle. We haven't mentioned him yet, Keanu Post. Post is a near 7-footer who has some NBA D-League experience. That's going to be a bit of an adjustment for Young to play with another big guy, especially a new big guy. Comes off the season with the Bullets. How much of a challenge is that, Dan, being a fellow big guy, bringing in someone new and not really having a lot of time with them in the front court?
I'm not sure. It's a tough one, and I think that Mitch Young brings the versatility to play that 4 spot and stretch the floor a little bit as well. But when I think playing with another big helps, that means Mitch Young doesn't have to go and get 15 rebounds every single night. There's some help on the glass. It keeps him out of foul trouble as well a little bit, to a point where you can switch another big onto it too. So when I think it helps Mitch Young's game in a lot of ways. There are some challenges, I'm sure, to figure out where on the floor each of you are meant to stand, but when I think this Logan team's going to look really good tonight, and like we said a second ago, execute their stuff really well after a bad loss last week.
The other new guy, Thunder, is Sam Johns from Adelaide too. So he was a solid player in their 20s group, in the South Australian 20s group a few years ago. So he's on the Adelaide roster now, and he's come up to try and get a bit of burn here, which will be interesting to see as well. Like, he's a good, solid, strong guy, versatile. So.
What's your prediction on the game tonight, Dave?
I think Logan will win comfortably, actually. I think they'll get in their groove, and I'm thinking a 15-point Logan victory.
Dan?
I agree. I think it's 15 or 20 points as well. And we've spoken about the big guns at Logan, but the Sean Carrolls, Tommy Amaz, I mean, those guys really underrated in what they do. So I think we'll see them play a big role in tonight too. And I would expect, a 20-point. I think Toowoomba will hang for a quarter and a half. But I think after that, I think this Logan quality will just shine out.
Well, since you both are tipping Logan, what do you guys think Toowoomba has to do to pull out the win, Dan?
I think they've got to control tempo. And I think they've got to really lock in on D. And I don't know, if Logan beats you, make them beat you from the 3-point line, shooting semi-contested 3-point shots. They can't establish Mitch Young in the post. They can't get layups in the paint. They've got to work hard for every shot. And if you can do that, you give yourself a chance to go on the other end and compete offensively.
Yeah. I think Anthony generally does a really good job of giving Toowoomba some good structure offensively. So I think if they can trust the offense, again, move the ball, share it, spread the floor, get good spacing, get good ball movement, good body movement, they're a good show.
All right, well, Toowoomba's going to have the first opportunity to get some points on the board here. You see Jay Washington going to Malik. Malik's going to pull up for the long 2. That's off. Aaliyah, offensive rebound and putback, though. He had a big one last week. He had double-double of 17 and 15 with 5 O boards.
Yeah.
It's really nice offense, too. They got a great O board with the shot before that out of a set play. Good execution on the pick and roll. They get 2 really good looks there to start the game.
Mitch Young reverse layup is missed, and Aaliyah comes down with it. It's stolen, though, by McCedar.
And that's where Young's going to have the advantage on Aaliyah, because he just has the strength and size on him. So Paul might have the height, but again, can he hold him off the block?
Yeah, that personal foul there, that went against, I think it went against Jay Washington. He was looking for the push-off there, but he got called for the defensive foul. So starting out for Logan, you got Salicic, Carroll, Cedar, Amar, and Mitch Young. So Coach Rucker switching things up. Young goes to the rack and puts it down with one hand.
Well,
Brad goes wild.
Yeah, Lear's got to do a better job of closing out there. I mean, it was a little pump fake, and up he goes, and Mitch Young to the rim.
I mean, if you carry a hand to Mitch Young and he beats you shooting 18-foot jump shots, you live with it, right?
Yeah, especially that's what he wants to do. He generally wants to work you around, especially around his left hand. That left hand hook's nice.
Abdul Bassett comes off the screen, and he drains a 3. It's 5-2. Looked pretty smooth on the Jimmy there.
Yeah, I don't think he played huge minutes at Oregon, but to play for the Oregon Ducks at college in the States, to be in that program shows he's a quality player as Mitch Young goes to work. We said he was going to be established early and be the focal point, and so far he is. But
yeah, he tried to yoke that one over Aaliyah. He got the miss and then put it right back in.
I like the pressure from Thunder as well. I mean, we didn't talk about it pre-game, but again, it was one of the things. Really, Toowoomba's only got 5 guys. 5 solid guys, and they can't play 40 minutes. So I'd be pressing and trapping them all game long if I'm the Thunder.
Well, Abdul Bassett's forced to put up a long one. That's off, and Young comes up with it. So good defensive set there from Logan to hold Toowoomba out. Nice look for Cedar in the corner. He puts it on the deck, throws up the teardrop, banks it home. Good hit there from Mick Cedar. Jay Washington splits the D, loses the ball, and then they're going to get Tommy Amar for the reach-in foul. Tommy didn't like it. Coach Rucker didn't like it either. Tommy's going to try and get the call changed, but have you ever seen a referee change the call? Ever? In the history of basketball? Why do people do it? I don't understand.
I don't think it ever has happened, but I think he'll get the next call because I think he might have been hard done by on that one.
Maybe a little. Oh, nice hezzo from Washington.
Yeah, great hesitation dribble there by Jay Washington. Gives Toowoomba the lead. And Sean Carroll, a bit of miscommunication there. He thought his big guy, Young, was going to go to the rack. Mitch pulled up. That's a turnover for Logan. Ebner kicks ahead from Malik. Malik's going to the deck. He's fouled on his way up by Mick Cedar, so that's going to send Menelik Malik to the free throw line. He was a perfect 2 of 2 last week in the loss to Ipswich.
This Toowoomba team was a dunking highlight reel in warm-up. I would have loved to see him try and jam one down there as well, and we'll see if he can reward himself with a foul line. But
well, I actually thought he was going to try and throw a lob to Aaliyah then.
Well, either way, one of them had to grab the rim and try and dunk it.
I'm with you.
Well, I've got to give a big shout out to Rod Anderson and Greg Vanderjack up in Townsville on their podcast. The long and the short of it, they allude specifically to the Toowoomba Mountaineers being the greatest dunking team in warm-up. So,
well, and I agree shouting those guys out. Like, the more media and exposure that Sean Carroll, old school, the Knox Raiders going to the rim, but I mean, those guys do a great job with their podcast. 2 really good episodes so far, and I think it's just great for our league to have more and more of that sort of stuff.
Washington throws it up. It's a little bit behind Malik, and he can't corral it, so that's a turnover. It's 9-8 here early for Toowoomba. They're up 1. Good look inside. Young puts it down with 2 hands. Great seal there by Mitch Young, and a great dish by Mick Cedar. Going to give a warning here. Not really sure what the call was there.
I think they said don't touch the ball, delay of game.
Delay of game warning.
I think if Logan get the bucket, just let it bounce. But I think it's a fair point. But when you get a dunk like that and the crowd's cheering, just don't deflate it by stopping the game. Just keep it rolling. But anyway, if it speeds the game up later on, then it's a good thing.
Checking in for Toowoomba, that's Mitch Davis. Deep 3 for Abdul Bassett's off. Malik comes down with the offensive rebound and brings it back out, though, for Toowoomba. Washington double teamed. He leaves his feet. Somebody's open. Malik's going to put up the shot. That's off, and Cedar comes down with it. Another turnover here. Ebner kicks ahead for Washington. The pass is a little wild, but Toowoomba comes back with it.
Well, it certainly does look like week 2 of action, doesn't it, early, with both ends pretty loose.
Yeah, Abdul Bassett misses that jump shot there, so it's a bit tentative at the moment. Both teams a little sloppy here. I think the pressure is a bit on Logan here early as Cedar's blocked there by Davis. Ebner comes up with it. Going right at Carroll, throws up a wild one. They're going to get Carroll for the call or the foul on the body.
Very free-flowing, isn't it? We spoke about Logan coming out and really executing stuff and getting looks from the right guys. And, I mean, they've had some great looks so far, but there hasn't been a lot of execution from either side. And I think that'll come as the game goes on. The first few minutes, these guys are finding their feet. And, I mean, it's good viewing, getting up and down the floor. It's great for the crowd. Lots of energy in the building, but we'll see which team can slow down and really settle into some structure first.
Yeah. Sam Johns checks in for Thunder.
Yeah, and early on, I mean, defensively, Toowoomba look horrible, to be honest. You know, there's gaps galore. There's no split line. They're letting anyone go by them. Cedar is coming off the on-ball at will. Defensively, they need to do something. I mean, and take some of that stuff away.
Well, that's the difference between where these teams will probably finish. You see Toowoomba run an on-ball screen. Logan trap it, get the ball out of the point guard's hands.
Yeah.
Down the other end, Logan run an on-ball, and they turn the corner and walk into the paint. That's the difference, isn't it?
Young being aggressive, getting to the paint. He can't finish, but he's fouled. Let's see who they give this one to. Looks like it's going to go on number 15, Mitch Davis for Toowoomba.
Well, I like Davis's first touch of the basketball, which was sending Cedar's shot out, but he's got to move his feet better, and he might have a long night trying to guard Mitch Young, I think, based on that first possession.
And Tommy Amar is going to take a seat on the bench. Keanu Post checking in for the Logan Thunder. Post in his QBL debut last week had 9.7 rebounds, a steal, a block, was 3 of 8 from the field, only 3 of 7 from the free throw line.
And just a really big body. And I think it gives Logan and Coach Rucker the ability to go small and put Mitch Young at the 5, where he looked awesome during the NBL season playing that spot, but also allows them to go really big and maybe slow it down and grind it out with 2 or even 3 really big bodies out there. Gives this team a lot of versatility and depth, which is going to pay dividends as this year goes on.
Yeah.
And Young hits them both. He's a perfect 12 of 12 to start his QBL campaign from the free throw line. It's 12-11 for Logan. 5 to go in the first. And that's always going to be a tough one. That's always going to be a tough one there with Post sliding across, trying to guard Jaleel Abdul-Bassett, trying to get us into the paint.
Yeah, just those little things, though. I mean, he's got to come off that Davis screen tighter and rub his man off. I mean,
wild pass there, up ahead. Mitch Young has his eyes wide open. He'll put it down again with one hand. That's his 3rd dunk of the quarter. Logan's up 3.
I think you're right, Dave. If you know you're one of the focuses on offense, those kind of turnovers are going to kill you if you're Toowoomba. Cheap ones like that on an on-ball.
I don't know what he did wrong, though. Jeez,
but if I'm Abdul-Bassett, I'm looking around going, I've got to take 20 shots here if we're going to be a chance. So you've got to come off those picks, looking to score and be more aggressive. I mean, he just was a little bit too passive coming off that for what I think he needs to be.
And equally, Davis has got to go pop someone. I mean, be aggressive, be strong. If he's going to be a role player, that's fine.
Well, Davis got another block there, but I think there was a foul called beforehand. That one is going to go on Davis. That's going to be Davis. That's his first personal.
Yeah, it should be second.
Thought it was second.
Yeah, I think Coach Corcoran might have to get him out. What?
Yeah, that definitely was his second.
Yeah.
They have. I'm looking at the scoreboard. They have him as 35, but he's wearing 15.
Yeah, definitely.
Thought I was losing my mind there for a second.
We'll see how he goes against the big guy if he gets his 3rd.
Nice spin to the left, a little too strong for Post. He gets his own board, goes right back to the rim, misses again. Abdul-Bassett comes down with it.
Hey, Davis did a good job there of being physical.
He sure did. Good D.
Abdul-Bassett can't hit Post. He's a big unit. He scars for the board.
Post is a big boy, all right.
Cedar for 3, that's off. Young, one-handed rebound, blocked by Davis again.
Well, I reckon that's probably the 4th or 5th block shot here from this Toowoomba crew.
And Washington finishes at the other end, so Toowoomba giving Logan a bit of trouble here in the first with 3:40 to go. It's a 1-point lead for Logan.
Yeah, what they lack defensively with some structure, they're making up with some athleticism and some great plays.
As Young puts it on the deck, gets to the rim and lays it in.
Yeah, contesting and protecting the rim.
Coach Corcoran wants the timeout. He'll get one shortly. Abdul-Bassett for 3, that's short. Cedar with the rebound. Oh, Young's going to fire for 3. It's too strong, and Abdul-Bassett comes down with it.
I think Mitch was maybe watching the Warriors game last night and thought he'd give it a crack. I mean, I don't know we need pull-up threes from him.
Well, he's coming off a 2 of 14 night last week, so he's out feeling good, 12 points on the board. I just let it fly, but I'm not sure that's the shot you want.
Yeah, stick to the dunking, big dog.
Yeah, Abdul-Bassett shows you how to take the jump shot. He hits a long 2. It's a 1-point lead now for Toowoomba. Inside to Post. He's working on Davis. Spins baseline. They're going to call him for the offensive foul. I'm going to say he hooked him there. I think that's the second foul on Keanu Post, so Coach Rucker has a decision to make here as well.
I think the challenge, we've seen him play for 2 minutes. My read on it is Coach Rucker's going to have a challenge to keep him playing his role and not trying to do too much. He doesn't look very skilled. He's just a big body. So, I mean, he's going to get more comfortable in the league, but I'm not sure that the ISO post game is his strength now.
And exactly like Thunder. you can hold the block, right? And that's still good too, because you can get inside-outside game. And they've got shooters, they've got weak side action with Amar and Salicic.
No
so
doubt.
again, hold the post, give it to the big guy.
We can be a facilitator through there too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think when you're an import, you come in here going, man, I'm an import, I'd better put up big numbers.
Yeah.
But for them to win, they don't need that. They need him to come in, be a threat down there as he's going to be. But he doesn't, I guess, doesn't need or feel the need to score the ball every time he gets it.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen that from post to start either. I mean, he's been aggressive a couple times. He's got the ball in the low block. I think he needs to be more of a weapon defensively, though. I think he really needs to protect that rim, take that bit of pressure off Mitch Young. Mitch Young is a very solid defender, but I think that's really where you'll see Post making the most impact.
Well, he's going to be the DeAndre Jordan of the QBL, is what he needs to be.
Yeah.
Big, great rebounder, block some shots, and roll to the rim hard, but don't try, and do too much.
Yeah, and taking a quick look at some of the Logan stats. You mentioned Mitch Young looking to improve his game. He already has 12 points in the first quarter. He had 14 last week. He's been quite aggressive. We've seen him put the ball on the deck. We've seen him dunk the ball 3 times. He's had a great start to the game so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Running transition, in getting a breakaway. So he's done a real good job, and it'd be interesting to see now. He's actually checked back in because of Post's foul trouble. So we might get plenty of burn.
I like the fact he's taken 9 shots. The points is one thing, but just the aggressiveness, coming off a rough week last week. I mean, I said in the preview our podcast, I want him to be the MVP. I'm just such a big fan of his. And I think for this team to do what they want to do, he needs to play at a high level.
Yeah, great job.
I like the fact that he's taken nine shots and being aggressive.
Yeah, great job from Malik on the glass, and again opened it up for Paul Lee to clean it up.
Yeah, good job there, and good aggression by Toowoomba on the glass. They're up 1 now. John's trying to get to the rim, travels, so that's a turnover. Coach Rucker going to that small lineup that you guys alluded to. Mitch Young's playing the 5 spot. You see Tommy Amar lining up at the 4.
I love Derek Rucker's composure during a game. Never gets too high, never gets too low. Just this steady, consistent personality on the sideline. I think that's great. I'd love to play for a coach like that.
I think he'd be fuming inside at the moment because Logan hasn't looked too great to come out of that timeout. And they're getting crushed on the offensive boards, giving up too many O boards.
Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead, Double D. There's some athletic kids on that Toowoomba team.
Yeah, and I like what Washington's bringing too. He's doing a good job of penetrating, and he's kind of getting what he wants. His teammates got to help him out and finish some of them though.
Tommy Amar's on the board with a 3. Logan takes the lead again. Ebner kicks it out. Abdul Bassett's going to fire the jump shot. That's off. It's tipped around. Lear comes up with it. Abdul Bassett looking for a screen. He's got the horn set going. He's going to step back and fire another jump shot that's wet. 19-all with 1:10 to go.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it'd be a 19-all game based on what you've seen so far. I think Logan has looked like they're thoroughly in control, but somehow Toowoomba's doing a good job to scrap and stay with it.
Tommy Amar's got the jumper going. Back-to-back jimmies for Tommy. Gives Logan another 2-point lead. Washington's pass is tipped and then stolen by Young. If he kicks ahead, he's got a 3-on-2. Jones kicks it ahead for Goldfinch. The alley-oop is complete.
I don't know about you guys. I didn't expect that. That's a nice finish.
From the young fella.
Yeah, Cameron Goldfinch with the alley-oop finish from Sam Johns. Washington goes to the block and Malik. Now Aliyah's going to take the free throw line jumper. It's off. They're going to hold for 1 here. There's about a half a second differential between the game and the shot clock. So Cedar's going to hold on. What do you think? High ball screen action here for Cedar, hey?
Yeah, they'll space it out and try and get Tommy on the wing. And
Cedar's just going to go one-on-one with Washington here with 5 seconds to go. Pulls up. He's fouled as Jay Washington took a shot to the chin.
I like that too. I like Cedar's aggressiveness. Don't need no help. Let me just go ISO here. I think it's important when you're chasing rings like we are in Logan, the studs know that they're the studs and they take ownership of it.
Yeah. Equally, that would have hurt Washington, but again, don't put your head where it shouldn't be.
Mitch Young going to take a breather. We don't want him picking up any cheap ones. Washington's going to take a seat. He's got 2 personals as well. He thought he was coming out. He's in, though.
Well, they've got 4 seconds to get a shot up. You probably leave him in. You're not going to pick up a 3rd foul on a 4-second possession, but you want him in for his creativity. But I think it's .7 left now. They're going to run out of time to get a look up here.
A really dangerous play there by Adam Gehrig, too. Passing it underneath the basket with about a second to go. But Toowoomba does not get the shot off, and they'll head into the quarter-time break down 4, 23-19. Guys, what do you think of the first quarter, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's week 2, so it's a bit scrappy. But I think Logan is certainly settling more into their offense and getting some good looks. Toowoomba's done a good job of protecting the rim, blocking about probably 5 shots by my count, and certainly challenging and changing a lot too. So the athleticism of Toowoomba is probably been underestimated so far from Logan.
Yeah, I agree. And this quarter wasn't that unexpected way it's gone. You'd expect Toowoomba to hang like they had for the first quarter, maybe 2. But I agree, Logan just looked the more complete team at the moment. And I think as this game goes on, if they can clean up Toowoomba's boards a little bit, I think that'll really help them get out in transition. And I would still be pretty comfortable, like we predicted, a 10, 15-plus point win for Logan. You still expect that to happen. But credit to Toowoomba so far. They're playing well. They're on the road again. They perform really well, but I just think Logan still looks like they're in control.
Yeah, I think if Logan maybe trapped Washington too, I'd maybe trap him hard out of that on ball and make the other guys do something. Because I mean, Washington, I think he had 8 or 9 assists last week, and he's just such a dominant distributor for them. I think that's what you got to do. Take things away and make it difficult for them.
Yeah, I think Toowoomba played that game at their pace, though. Also, I think they did a really good job controlling the tempo. They did a good job in transition. Logan, if you let them get out, very similar to the women, they got guys that want to run and can hurt you in transition. Toowoomba did a really good job keeping them composed and keeping them playing in a half-court game. Logan did a good job on a couple of sets, but they didn't really get that many good looks out of the half-court.
Yeah, and I think they did look to trap a little bit off that on-ball double D. You're right, exactly. I'm with you, and I think they did do that. Washington had 3 turnovers, a couple of them off on-balls in that quarter, but I think it's just more of the same. I think Logan are getting more and more comfortable in what they're doing. They'll keep executing at a high level. We've got the big fella coming back in here by the look, so let's see if we can run some stuff through him and start to get him comfortable in this league too.
Yeah,
and get him settled.
And I think Toowoomba looked good when they ran the horn set. When they had really good spacing and let Washington operate. I think that was successful for them as well in that first quarter.
Yeah, I think they need to do that and keep getting Abdul Bassett shots, but work to get him more open shots. If he's trying to take contested J's, it's going to be a long night. But if they can work to get him looks, he's got to score 30 for them to get a win here, I think. Yeah. So let's see if they can keep working that.
So Logan comes out in the second quarter. Goldfinch going to fire a jumper. That's smooth. The young fella smacks one down on the alley-oop and then drains a long 2.
Well, he's come ready to go.
Logan's got Carroll, Goldfinch, Johns, Post, and Thompson. Toowoomba is going to answer with Abdul Bassett, Washington, Gehrig, Alier, and then Nolan. Abdul Bassett putting it on the deck. Got to kick it over to Washington. That's Nolan for 3. That's off. It hits the top of the backboard, and that's out of bounds. So not a bad little defensive set there from Logan, keeping Toowoomba to the perimeter.
Yeah. And again, you could go off Post on the on-ball all day. He sets a mean screen. I'd be coming off that too.
There it is. Goldfinch picks up his dribble, though.
Yeah.
Carroll.
Illegal. Good call.
Definitely going to get Jared Thompson there for the offensive foul, setting the pick from behind.
Yeah.
I thought he had his feet set. Why is that the offensive foul call?
I think he was late, and then he dropped his shoulder. I think it's a good call.
So first team foul there for Logan. They're up 6 with 9 to go in the first half. Let's see what Washington can do here. He's guarded by Goldfinch. Bit of his own here from Logan. Abdul Bassett gets it to the elbow, pulls up and drains it. Looks like he hurt himself. Could have been a hamstring there. It doesn't look very comfortable.
I think anytime you see a player grab their leg like that, that's never a good sign. That was a great move, but he's done something to himself here, which if he comes out, this is a wrap for Toowoomba. Hopefully it's just a stinger or a little cork, or for our international listeners, I think we refer to that as a Charlie horse.
I think that was what I called it last week, eh?
I think you did. Well, we're catering to all audiences here.
We are international. We've got viewers definitely in the States. We know we've got viewers in Europe as well and all throughout Australia. Don't forget, guys, this is Live Sport Australia, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Make sure you visit our Facebook pages and Live Sport Australia and Nothing But Net Media and give us a like. As Washington has 3 seconds to go on the shot clock, crosses over, has got to get the shot off. He does, but Post comes down with the board. I thought Keanu did a good job contesting and regathering the rebound.
Absolutely, and I think you know, they need Paul Allier to be more aggressive out of that high post. He's just floating around, and he's not just an offensive rebound guy. I mean, he needs to be flashing into that high post, looking for the ball, turn around Jimmy from 12 feet. That's his bread and butter too. Or equally, catches it, gets a couple of jimmies, then he can rip and dunk it on them. So they just need him to present himself a bit more here in this offense.
Bad pass there by Adam Garrick. Ball goes out of bounds, though, so Toowoomba will maintain it.
Well, Garrick's got to look at the rim when he catches the ball, for starters.
And Logan just played right off him, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to engage a man and be a threat.
Washington now has it. Cross-court pass for Nolan, who catches. He's going to fire a three. That's his second one. That's off as well. Post with another defensive rebound. And a turnover there. A little, again, miscommunication from Logan.
And I think that's the sort of stuff, yeah, it goes to the bench. I was going to say, that's the sort of turnover that Coach Rucker can't tolerate. Why are you laughing, Double D?
Because I knew
me and Coach Rucker are on the same level on that possession. I mean, if you're setting a culture of winning, that's the sort of thing that you can't really allow to slip through. Yeah. So I think it's great.
Yeah,
that's a great sub, but I'm sure you'll get back in at some stage.
I'm laughing because I knew he was cooked as well. I mean, you can't have an offensive and then just chuck the ball away, bring it up.
I mean, the ball is gold. Turnovers kill you, especially if they're completely uncontested like that.
Well, and they're coming off 18 last week, so they really need to tighten it up.
As a turnover for Toowoomba, Salicic comes up with a steal. Carroll will pull up for three. That's good from Sean Carroll. He can fire from deep. It's a 9-point lead now for Logan with 7:10 to go in the first half. Surprised we don't see any pressure here from Logan?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go.
No, I was going to say, I think the pressure will definitely come. I think at the moment playing half-court ball is fine. They'll put pressure on, I'm sure, at some stage, but they're doing a pretty good job in the half-court of playing really good D and forcing turnovers like we just saw them.
Yeah, Lear travel there, so that's another turnover. It's a bit of that matchup zone. What are we looking at from Logan? To me, looks like it's almost, again, like I said, a matchup zone they're playing.
I think Toowoomba are struggling to know who do we want to get shots out of this. I mean, you've got to know we want to get these guys the shots. We're going to do this to get them open. At the moment, they're just running whatever Logan gives them, and that's never going to be a good outcome for the offensive team to let the defense dictate like that. But give Logan credit, but I just think Toowoomba need to have a bit more purpose of what they're running.
Great look. Post got himself in bad position, but he's luckily fouled, so he'll go to line for a couple shots.
Yeah, and without Allier or Davis in here, geez, they're going to struggle to guard post.
We've got to do your work early. If he can catch it like that, he'll be living at the foul line.
Yeah, I think he's probably given CB maybe six inches and 6 inches and a fair bit of weight. Yeah.
And it's hard, and like when a team comes down and just walks into the post, that's all right. As long as you get some rim, it's okay.
It did graze
it just got the rim.
I mean, that possession, he caught the ball off the move. Good comeback to knock that second shot down too, by the way. But when you flash to the post and you stand there and let the defense get set, that's hard to guard. But as Toowoomba turned the ball over again, unfortunately for them, bit of miscommunication and frustration. But and when you catch the ball on the move and you come off a pick and you're flashing to the post, it just makes it so hard to double team or deny the ball. So if they can do more and more of that, they'll keep getting him good looks and he'll get more and more settled into the league.
Timeout taken on the floor. We're going to take a timeout as well. It's a 10-point lead for the Logan Thunder, 31-21 with 6:30 to go here in the first half. Welcome back to Cornubia Sports Complex here as the Logan Thunder lead the Toowoomba Mountaineers 31-21. Dave, let's take a quick look at some of the Toowoomba statistics. At the moment, they're kind of struggling to get the ball in the basket.
Yeah, I mean, a good timeout by the Nears. They needed it. They could sense, as I could, the game getting a little bit out of hand. So see if he can settle the guys down and work out a strategy here for how they're going to defend post.
Yeah, defense needs some work, you're right. But they've got 8 turnovers. With 6 minutes left in the second quarter, the big fella goes to work. Stay with it. There you go. They're on track for 20-plus turnovers for the game, which is just far too many to compete.
Yeah, how about the athleticism there from post? Bassett finds Malik, who can't finish the layup. Grabbing the offensive rebound is Sebi, but he loses it. There goes Salicic to the rim. He misses the layup, though, and Abdul Bassett comes down with it.
I was going to say, Toowoomba just bombed that 3-on-1 real bad.
And Coach Corcoran going to go back to the bench. Jason Ebneter going to check back in for the Mountaineers. Good defense there by Salicic on Abdul Bassett. Look inside.
Ooh.
It's not there, so turnover Toowoomba. Abdul Bassett and Joel Sebi, just a bit of miscommunication there. Not the action Coach Corcoran wants out of the timeout, is it?
No, I mean, I think it's there's certainly some new components for them this year, and it looks like it. Just real sloppy.
I don't know that he knows the shot clock either.
2-1. Washington does get it off just in time, and it rattles home.
That's in my face. He knew the shot clock. It's in my grill, Washington.
That's a long 2 for Jay Washington. I think that's Toowoomba's first points of the quarter, I think. It is, yep.
Yeah, second bucket.
Second bucket, sorry.
But yeah, it's a 12-4 run, Johnny, to start the second, sorry.
Jalil Abdul Bassett wants the horn set. Going to his right off the screen from Malik. It's not there. Here comes Sebi with another one. Good roll to the basket. Sebi, a lot of contact.
Wow, how's that not a call?
Don't know how they didn't call that one, but he missed it. Post comes down with the rebound. Good action, though, from Toowoomba. That was a better possession.
Yeah, much better. And they're getting the gap. There's plenty of gaps in this Toowoomba zone. I don't think the zone's super great. Toowoomba's just turning the ball over.
Carroll can't make it, but Post does. He follows up with a huge jam.
He's just testing out the spring-loaded Grand Slam rims.
Well, he didn't look super athletic the first couple of possessions, but I mean, that was unbelievable for a dude that big to get up that quick and finish like that. I mean, if he can just focus on being the best defensive big in the league and offensive boarding, I mean, he's going to help them a whole lot.
Yeah.
That's a nice answer there by Jay Washington. Hitting the 3. It's an 11-point lead for Logan. Post wants it again. He's amped up.
And one of the things I enjoy about calling these Logan games is we just see, here's another one coming.
One hand this time for Post. Nice creativity there by Salicic.
I'll count that as a dunk. That's the 5th dunk we've had tonight. This is just great basketball to watch.
6?
I think so, in the alley.
6? Oh, in the alley, I'm
Mitch
discounting
Mitch
it.
has
6.
got 3, yeah.
6, there you go.
This is
even better.
Like you say, you got guys who can put it down here. Well, let's see if Toowoomba can answer. Malik's going to fire a 3.
Go.
He rattles that one home. Good answer there.
I like it, Malik. Look good. Square up. Back yourself.
And that brings a defender out also. If he could hit that consistently, it's a great weapon for Toowoomba.
I like Malik's been good for them so far. He's going to have trouble trying to guard post all night, but
Johns is going to fire a 3. That's off. Good rebound there by Malik. Now Washington going to settle things down. Abdul Bassett wants to fire a deep one. That's good. So back-to-back 3s for Toowoomba. Cut the lead to 7. And Coach Rucker wants a timeout. I like the timeout call there by Coach Rucker, Dave.
Yeah, spot on. And again, Jalil he's just finding his flow, right? I think he's going to be a real good baller in this league in a couple games as he gets his feet underneath him. A couple of bad shots so far, but again, he's got to get his flow.
He has to take.
He does.
There'll be some bad shots because he has to be volume.
Yeah.
What do you like out of Toowoomba here? That nice little run. Doing a good job defending the post. A better job on the last possession or two.
Well, that's because when the ball goes in the post, they're playing behind it and they're doubling down. And it's not a hard double, but at least they're making the post player give it up. And so we saw a minute ago an open 3 off the kick out, missed. And if you're going to lose with Logan shooting 3-pointers and making them. But if you can force them into those, that helps you go the other way. And they've shown a lot more composure on the offensive end in the last few minutes. Which has obviously helped them get a couple of open looks, and they've been able to knock them down.
Yeah, I mean, the points in the paint are killing Toowoomba at the moment. 26 points in the paint. You're gonna shoot a pretty good clip when you're shooting it from a foot. And the 6 dunks is certainly helping that as well. I don't have much of an answer because they don't have the size to battle. I mean, I'd like to see Davis get back in there. I think he was a good active body too.
He's got the 2 personal fouls. Coach Corcoran's going to go back to Paul O'Lear, though. O'Lear was their the second leading scorer. Had a huge game last week, 17 points and 15 rebounds. It's been quiet so far tonight.
Yeah. Just a bit, again, I think just a bit nervous / maybe intimidated by post. Again, I think, you want to try and get him in that high post in this. I think they're in a 2-3 zone or a 3-2 zone. It's pretty extended, pretty high. There's been plenty of gaps though. So,
well, we just saw Post rip the rim off, so he's athletic.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I'm looking at that, you've got to get him out, move his feet, square him up. You can't expect to go and bang bodies with him because you're mismatched. But if they can get him on the move, attack him off the dribble, I mean, that's what I'd be trying to do as well. I mean, I'd be running some on-balls and let Jay Washington attack him off an on-ball and see if he can pick up a foul or 2 on the big fella showing out.
Good hands there by Washington. He speeds ahead. He's going to lay it up and in. So Washington's having himself a good game. That cuts the lead to 5.
Yeah, he's been real good.
He's been impressive, and I saw him more as a facilitator, which, as an import, is potentially a bit of a struggle. You need imports to score, but he's been a facilitator, and he's proven he can shoot the ball too. Good
look here for Ebneter. He's going to step back for 3. That's off. Good rebound there by Selicic. He saves it for Tommy Amar. That was a good look, though, for Toowoomba.
It was good. It was the right play.
I would have liked to have seen him catch and shoot. Once he put it down, I thought they should have run something.
He missed Paul O'Lear, fill in the middle on the trail.
Now Selicic in the corner for 3.
But it was a good look.
Hits the top of the backboard, and that's out of bounds. So Toowoomba was caught out there, though. They didn't rotate, left Selicic wide open.
Yeah. And that's the thing where they're going to hurt a little bit, too, with the fatigue. I mean, they don't have a big bench. So that's going to hurt.
Well, that's when they need to control tempo. If this turns into a track meet up and down, they're going to struggle, and that's when you'd expect them to hang out or stay with Logan for a quarter or 2, but blow out eventually. If they can control tempo and play at their pace because they aren't as deep, they'll go a long way towards them competing tonight.
Good offense. Good patience.
Yeah, that's exactly the sort of possession they need to see.
That is exactly what they need. Again, make Logan make the mistake in the zone through either poor comms or whatnot.
Just moving the ball.
Yeah.
Let everyone get a touch, reverse it a couple of times like we saw. There are going to be gaps that present.
Young has it at the high post. Cedar's going to fire the 3. That rattles home. That's a big bucket there as Toowoomba cut it to 3. It's now 6, though, for Logan.
Yeah, and they kind of needed it, too, I think, to get a bit of their mojo back because you would say Logan has dominated the game, and it's a two-shot game right now.
45 seconds to go in the half. Malik jumper is good, right in the face of Mitch Young. I like Toowoomba. They're gaining confidence here, guys. It's a shame it's nearly halftime for them.
Yeah, that's okay. I think, Logan's creeping.
We have got Abdul Bassett talking some trash to the Logan bench, including Coach Rucker. This is going to go one of 2 ways. He's about to get laid out, or he's about to light up and go on fire, or he's going to get fouled hard by somebody.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm looking forward to either outcome.
It's a shame it's nearly halftime.
I'm hoping for the light up.
I'm hoping for that too.
Washington leaves his feet. He's fouled. Going to give that one on to Christian Selicic, it looks like. Not going to give him the shots, though. And I like that, referees have let them play, which is nice.
Yeah, I don't know what Christian's complaining about.
A lot of contact, that's for sure.
Yeah, Washington's got a good change of pace, and he's been really good. Getting those seams. Here's Malik again.
Good hands there by Young. Ebneter comes up with it. His jumper's off. Aleer loses it to Cedar, and Logan will have an opportunity for the last shot of the half.
Well, just a bit of experience there from Malik. I mean, he had the last shot, and Mitch kind of goes, well, you got me last time, but I'm not going to let you get me again.
Great hands on the catch there by Post. He left his feet. They were going for the oop. It wasn't there, but he's fouled. He'll go to line for a couple shots.
He looks really good catching the ball on the move, hitting the offensive glass. Like we said, and I was probably a bit harsh, but trying to iso him down in the post, I don't know, it might or might not be his game, but the way he's playing at the moment, the way they're involving him, he's going to be a major asset for them.
No, he's looked really good.
He's going to go to line for a couple free throws.
It looks like he's come in really good nick too, like really fit. good energy.
Absolutely, which is what you'd expect if you're going to be a professional. You'd better come up better shop like that.
Let me ask you a question. I mean, we've only seen him for a half, and it's only a second game in the QBL. Could he be the biggest guy in the competition, though?
Could he be the biggest?
As size-wise.
Well,
I mean, where do you put him against Tommy Jarvis?
Oh, I don't know, but those are the good matchups that I would have liked to see last week.
Yeah.
It's one thing to play against this young, inexperienced front court, but against the Jarvises, against the Mackays with Trigar and even a Lucas Walker up there, and there are some really good bigs in this league. So it'll be good to see him week in, week out, go up and compete.
All right, let's see if Toowoomba can get a good look here. 3 seconds to go. Washington gets it. He goes away from Abdul Bassett. Can he get the floater off in time? They're going to say no, he doesn't. He missed it anyway. So at the half, it's a 6-point lead for Logan. 44-38, guys. Quickly, just give me your quick thoughts on the first half, Dave.
Yeah, I like how Toowoomba hung around and fought back. It was good. And I think if they had a look at the last couple of sets they ran offensively, nice patience, and move the ball around, that's going to be their key on how they can be competitive.
Dan, what were your thoughts on the first half?
I was impressed by both teams. I think Toowoomba was impressive. They're doing better than I expected, and I think if they can control tempo and run their sets and execute and stay out of foul trouble with their main guys like Jay Washington we saw pick up too, if they can control tempo, they'll be right there at the end.
Yeah, my only concern with Logan at the moment is that they're kind of watching post now. Like, I don't see a whole lot of movement. Now it's just chuck it in and it's the post show. That's cute, but he'll get cold or he gets subbed and then something else is like, I don't know if Mitch had an attempt in the second quarter.
He did. He went to the post and had a left hook to the middle, which was nice. Yeah.
So again, to your
but
point,
only 1 or 2.
To your point, he had 8 shots in the first quarter and 1 in the second, and I think he needs to continue to get his touches in order for them.
He needs to touch the ball every possession. Doesn't need to shoot it every time, obviously, but he needs to be involved and get touches for them to be successful.
All right, well, it is halftime here. It's a 44-38 lead for the Logan Thunder over the Toowoomba Mountaineers. We'll take a break. We'll come back with some statistics and the second half of action. QBL basketball presented to you by Live Sport Australia via Nothing But Net Media each and every week. Welcome back to Cornubia Sports Complex. It's halftime. 44-38 is the lead for the Logan Thunder. Dave, let's take a look at some of the halftime statistics. Logan shooting 54% from the field.
Yeah, I think, again, they were pretty well in control for most of the game. And, again, they shot the ball well. Good, reasonable clip from only 9 threes as well. Won the rebounding by +2. Overall, pretty good first half. I love Mitch Young's efficiency at 15. Again, 14 points, 4 rebounds. He did it really well. And I started talking about how maybe he needs a bit more love in the second quarter to continue his thing. But certainly a good overall half from Logan, where he got contributions all over the court.
I look at the halftime statistics for both teams, and you see 10 turnovers at the half for Logan, 9 for Toowoomba. Toowoomba couldn't capitalize on those opportunities, though. They're 15 of 35 from the field for 42%. But Dan, they have been getting some good looks. They're running some good stuff and getting some quality opportunities.
Yeah, no doubt, and I would hope for more of the same coming up. And if they can just add a little bit to it, like if they can get their big fellas like Aaliyah to go to the rim a bit more and look to score a bit as well, just to take some pressure off their imports, I think that'll go a long way. But the thing that sticks out for me looking at those stats is the bench points. 15 for Logan, 0 for Toowoomba. And I think that as this game grinds on and as the fatigue starts to kick in, that depth will be the difference tonight.
Well, the other big stat for me is Toowoomba, 3 assists. 3 assists in the half. Now, Washington's done a good job of penetrating. His guys aren't helping him finish. So that's, for me, a pretty telling sign, because he's getting in the paint. He's penetrating, kicking, pitching, and guys aren't making shots. So if they do that, then Logan's going to be in trouble.
I know you had a bit to do with Paul Lear. I heard you say something to him at halftime. What do you want to see out of Lear? I didn't get the full thing to hear what you said to him.
Yeah, I know. I just said to him, I just said he's got to be more aggressive. I mean, he's a real nice player. We had him in the 20s program a few years ago, and he came out of nowhere. We liked his athleticism, and he was probably one of the best guys for us at the tournament. And it's a shame that he hasn't really kicked on, because I really like him. He's got good length. He can shoot the ball well. He'll contest. I personally think it's a bit of that confidence. He's just got to have that, bit of that animal about him. About, hey, give me the ball, I'm gonna kick your ass.
He just needs reps in the post.
Yeah.
He just needs someone to go out there and just really grind down in the post of him and just work on his game, because all the tools are there for him to be a really good player. Not just in this league, but potentially at another league above it. Who knows? He's got all the talent you want. So I agree. This is a great night for him with a big American, Mitch Young. I mean, there's some good bigs on the other side of the floor. This is a great chance for him to step up and say, like, I'm young. You might not have heard much of me before, but, like, I'm new in town and I'm the real deal.
Yeah, I like him and Malik, Johnny. I think both of them need to work on catching that 12-footer in this offense that they're running, and then get after I make a few, catch and rip and smack it on someone. They both have the athleticism to do it. And again, not many free throws attempt. 4 free throws for Toowoomba. That's where Malik and Aaliyah can impact the game.
And if you're Coach Rucker at halftime, what are you saying to the Thunder? You're up 6, but it wasn't really the prettiest first halves for Logan.
I think they just slept a little in the second quarter. So I think as long as they come out here, have a good third, give them a defensive target of, maybe hold them to 15, 18, depending on the tempo. But again, third quarter, championship quarter, this is where Logan needs to turn it up and get a commanding lead.
Dan?
I'm with you. I'm looking forward to seeing what's about to unfold here.
All right, Toowoomba's got it to start the second half. They've got Washington, Ebnitter, Aaliyah, Malik, and Abdul Bassett. Logan answers with Carroll, McCedar, Mitch Young, Tommy Amar. And Malik finishes inside. That's a tough matchup for Tommy Amar with Manilok Malik.
Well, you got to like that. The first possession out of the half, they drew up something, and that's an assist if we're scoring it properly. Another assist, and they get one of their bigs involved. That's a great sign for Toowoomba.
And a bit of zone here from Toowoomba to start the half. Salicic is open. Skip pass over to Carroll. He'll fire from 3. That's short. And good boy there from Paul Aaliyah. It's a good start so far here for Toowoomba. Ebnitter puts it on the deck, goes inside of Malik. Reverse layup is a bit too strong, but Aaliyah tips it in.
Great job. Good job, Malik and Aaliyah. They seem to work beautifully together. That's probably about the 4th time that someone's cleaned up someone else's shot.
And Aaliyah's man in the middle here for Logan in this zone. Excuse me, Toowoomba in the zone, but someone left McCedar open. You can't do that. He's going to make you pay.
Especially on this group they have at the moment. You have to recognize that he's the best shooter on the floor. And you can't have a half hand. It's just not good enough. Maybe a bit of experience from Malik as well.
Washington with Salicic on him, gets in the paint, kicks it in over to Malik, who finishes, and the foul. Great creativity there from Washington. You mentioned to assist. He's got 2 already in 1:30 to go in the half.
Well, they got to love the 3 of 3 from the floor to start, which is a good start from Toowoomba. And Logan's gone back to their man, and they're getting found out right now.
And let's talk a little bit about body language, because I don't know if you guys are picking it up, but Toowoomba seems really engaged then into it. Logan just seems a little bit flat.
Yeah, they do. They had a good start in the second quarter. They were pretty average, and we'll see how we go. I mean, if you take out Post in the second quarter, they were average, right?
Yeah, and they turn it over, so Toowoomba can tie with a 3-pointer. Ebner throws it again to Malik, who kicks it out for Abdul Bassett. He'll fire a deep one. That's off, and Young comes down with it. That would have been huge for Toowoomba.
Yeah, good look, though. I think they're getting what they want. Now we'll see how Logan executes against this 2.
Yeah, zone giving Logan fits to start the second half here. It's a sloppy pass. Salicic gets it to Amar, though, and Amar hits the short jumper.
Yeah, all day for Tommy Amar around the paint there. And again, good patience from Logan. It wasn't pretty, but they got something in the end.
Let's see what Toowoomba answers with. Paul Lear putting it on the deck. Going to his left, flips it up with the right. It's off. Good hustle there by Salicic. He knocks the ball out of bounds, so Toowoomba will have possession.
And you got to like Toowoomba's offense. They're getting in the paint. Like a couple of their guards, Jay Washington especially, have been able to penetrate and get 2 feet in the lane. But on that last possession, you want to see Paul Lear come in too and be aggressive. And he missed, but so what? Those are great moves, and the more of those we see, the better.
Yeah, good sub from Ruck too. He needs his big guy back in there.
Yeah,
Because it hasn't been a great start.
Well, there's 2. Oh, I like that, though.
Lear tried to hammer one on post. He went a bit too strong, though. Like the aggression.
That's exactly what you want to see, aggressive play like that.
There's 6 on the shot clock.
Why didn't that reset when he dunked it or tried to miss it?
Washington fires up a wild one. That's off.
If that ball hits the rim, isn't that a reset on a
14
seconds?
Yeah, 14
Is that what it went to?
Yeah. Yep.
It maybe looked quick. I'm with you, though, Thunder.
It looked pretty quick. It's a very quick 7 seconds. So getting Tommy Amar, just back to that point, Post comes back in because they need a big body. But that plays in Toowoomba's hands from a tempo point of view, and Tommy's at the 4. Logan can get up and down and run, but they're going to be a bit slower now.
Missed him,
definitely. But that slower tempo in this half-court game helps Toowoomba stay in this match because they aren't as deep. It keeps these guys fresh.
And you see the opportunity was there to attack, but they want to run their sets. Ebner throws it up for Lear. It's tipped out by Post. Abdul Bassett with 2 on the shot clock. Floater is good.
He's got game, fellas.
Yeah,
he's a really good player. Very, very good QBL player. Young dumps it off. It's stolen, though, by Lear. Here comes the 2-on-1. Washington speeds ahead, lays it up and in.
Great transition basketball. Great job, Abnetta, hitting Washington. And Ruck needs to call a timeout, have a chat about it.
Yeah, that's a great timeout. I love the energy from Toowoomba. 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the second half. They've cut the lead to 1, and they're doing it at their own pace and playing their game.
Yeah, and I like your point too. Body language is everything, right? And if I'm Derek, I'm not liking the Logan body language right now.
They just don't seem as engaged as Toowoomba. You can see Coach Corcoran. Everyone's following every word that he has. And at the moment, Coach Rucker, he's getting into the boys a bit. You can see he keeps it cool, calm, and collected, but I guarantee you that's a stern talking to right there.
That's concerning for me if we're talking about body language. I mean, you got your ass beat last week pretty convincingly. You come back at your first game for the season in front of your home crowd. What excuse do you have not to be bringing massive energy, especially because we're in a really tight game against what's looking like a quality opposition?
Yeah.
It's only a 1-point game, though, and Logan does still have the lead.
Yeah, I think you got to get Cetus some more touches here. He needs to bring his leadership and experience and take charge out there.
And we haven't really seen, you mentioned in the second quarter, we haven't seen many Mitch Young touches either.
No.
And that's a bit of a credit to Toowoomba's defense too. They go to this zone, they kind of junk it up. It doesn't allow Mitch Young just to go to the block and play one-on-one like he did to start the match.
Yeah.
But Logan have to find ways tonight and during the season to get Mitch Young touches, to get Cedar looks, no matter what defense they play, because that's the focus for most teams, get the ball out of Mitch Young's hands.
Yeah, we'll see how they go with Lear's going to have to try and guard, post it down low.
Yeah, good look there for Cedar. He just couldn't capitalize.
If Toowoomba control the glass and not give up too many second opportunities to Logan, I mean, this game is right there for the taking.
You've got to guard that. Boom.
Abdul Bassett answers with a three. Toowoomba takes the lead for the first time in the second half, 51-49. You cannot let him shoot.
Yeah, he's like Cedar. I mean, if Cedar's the best shooter, then he's your second best.
Good look there by Goldfinch. He can't finish. Now Toowoomba can increase the lead. Good skip pass ahead. Alir swatted by Post. He gets it back. Malik finishes over Keanu Post. And it's now a 4-point lead for Toowoomba.
And more offensive rebounds, Dan. Exactly what you just talked about.
Well, Coach Rucker gets Tommy out because they need big, so you got Post and Mitch Young. Now, that was a bit of a broken play. I know it was in transition, so it's a bit unfair maybe, but I mean, there's no excuse to give up offensive boards when you got Mitch Young and Post down there in the block.
Yeah, especially because, again, the Toowoomba boys, they're slight, right? So it's just it's technique. It's big, wide stance, box them out. If you make it an athletic contest, these guys are going to win. I mean, you saw Alir looked like he grabbed the ball off top of the backboard a minute ago.
Alley-oop to Post. Good catch, and one hand puts it down. He's got really nice hands, Post. When it goes inside, it doesn't fall to the ground.
Well, he caught it, nice hands, but then the speed to get back up just to flush it, that was quick.
Yeah, he's nice.
Washington now looking for the screen from Malik, drawing the big guy away.
Bring him out.
That's a really good show out, too, from Post. You show on the pick. You get the ball out of his hands.
Uh-oh.
Your man knocks
three
down
to the dome.
That's another one.
Well, I hope he gets a few more shots because I want to see him talk trash to the Logan bench again.
Good hands inside by Alir with Post. Cedar looking to answer with his own three. That's too strong. Good board there by Paul Alir. Now Washington going to look to reset again. Toowoomba's up 5 here, guys, with 4:30 to go in the third.
Oh, that's a good look.
That was a great look there by Washington. Alir couldn't handle the pass. It goes out of bounds.
Yeah, he's got to expect that.
You can see Joe Washington lip reading saying, always be looking, always. Exactly those words.
You love to hear that from a point guard, especially if you're a big guy, too.
That is music to your ears as a big. Always be looking. I'm ready. I bet the next one he catches and finishes strong.
Johns has it now for Logan. He's back on the court. Drives baseline now. Picks up his dribble. It's tipped and stolen by Alir. Great hands there by the big fella.
The length is really bothering Logan right now. Malik and Alir, if he gets hot here.
Abdul Bassett again for three. Again to the dome. It's up it's an 8-point lead now, 59-51.
Really critical. Sorry, Dan.
Go for it.
Ruck doesn't want to blow his second time out now, but he may have to keep this game.
He might have to. I'd get Tommy Maher back in for Sam Johns right quick.
Young fouled on his way to the bucket there by Jalil Abdul Bassett. I like the aggressive take there by Mitch Young. Caught it in a great spot, and he was going straight to the rack.
Absolutely, and again, Cedar and him need to be the focal of this offense for the next little while.
And that foul also was on Jalil Abdul Bassett. That's his third personal, so that's a big foul as well. So good aggressive take there from Mitch Young. He'll go to the line where he's 2 of 2 for the night.
Well, he's hit three trays in a row. I'm pretty confident Jay Washington knows what to run coming down here. And that is get my man the ball.
I don't think it matters what they run. As soon as he touches it, it's going straight up.
Young goes 1 of 2. That's his first miss from the free throw line this season. There it is. Does he step in deep? No, he kicks it over to Ebner for 3.
He makes the right play. It's a credit to him,
Yeah,
too.
that was nice. I agree.
Post in a bit of trouble. Long pass stolen by Washington. Great read there from Jay Washington.
There he is.
There's Abdul Bassett. He's going to step into a deep one. That nearly went down. Good look, though, by Washington.
Yeah. I'm with Thunder. He's doing a fantastic job of moving the ball and finding guys tonight.
The key is for Abdul Bassett, especially on 3 fouls, to stay on the floor. You don't want to get too pumped up and too excited and pick up a cheap foul here and go to the bench.
Good dish there, Washington. Good defense there by the young fella, Goldfinch.
Another great job, Johnny, down the other end. Another deflection. Toowoomba doing a real good job getting deflections on the ball. And one. Ooh.
Washington's fouled on his way to the bucket. He can't finish, but he's going to go to the line for 2 shots. Dave. Jay Washington has been really impressive for me tonight, too. A couple turnovers, but a lot of them not necessarily his fault.
Well, and again, though, if they're hitting shots that they should be hitting, he's got 10 dimes already, right? So I'll give you, I don't mind 3 turnovers if he's going to have the 10 dimes that he should have had. So, because he's constantly got, Sean Carroll on the back foot, or Salicic, Salicic is a decent defender too, and Carroll's tough. So just, smart and experienced, maybe not the athlete that he once was, but again, a good solid player, and Washington's getting where he wants to. And if his front line was catching and finishing like they should be.
And the zone from Toowoomba has really, really baffled Logan. And it's nothing different. It's a 2-3 zone.
It's a 2-3 zone where there's plenty of length at the back.
Yeah.
I mean, we're sitting in a pretty good spot.
Wow.
And good backs out there from Malik leads to a Mitch Young foul going over the back.
And Mitch Young saying he needs touches and he's right. He's just getting frozen out down there. But, I mean, the thing, it's just a regular 2-3 zone, but these guys' arms are so long that it makes it difficult to make any type of entry pass. But, I mean, you've got to get the ball in the paint. How do you do it? Offensive board, pass penetration, dribble penetration. Logan have to figure out how to do one of those things every possession.
Yeah, I like this. And, again, I'm with you on Mitch Young, too. He needs some touches. Can they get a stop, though? Washington goes to the left hand. That's no good. Post gets the board. It's a 23-8 quarter so far for Toowoomba. Pass goes off a post foot. It just don't seem all together here at the moment. Just kind of disorganized and not playing as a unit at the moment, Logan.
Yeah, it's really interesting watching teams struggle against a zone because, whenever we've been playing over the years, I loved it. I mean, it was like, I'm going to carve you apart with the zone, right?
Yeah.
It's just about draw and kick, move, flash.
That's your perimeter player. If you're a post player, you want one, like Mitch Young, I can guarantee wants one-on-one coverage in the post.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to play against a zone. But Mick Cedar, I'd get Tommy Marr back on the floor. But these perimeter guys who are shooters, you would love a zone to play against.
Yeah.
And they're just out of control. We see there Salicic just takes one step too many in travel. That's a turnover.
This is a really big minute 50 for Logan. I mean, we're currently at a 9-point lead. If they go into the three-quarter time break down 11 or 12, that's danger.
Yeah,
if they can go in down 5 or 6, they're looking all right.
Well, as Johnny said, they've held them to 8 for the quarter so far, and Toowoomba's put on 23.
Yeah.
And if Jaleel comes in here and continues his hot streak, this is a pretty tough one.
Not the look that he wanted there, but here comes Young being aggressive. He's swatted there by Paul O'Lear. Came out of nowhere. They turned the ball over, but they're going to get a foul. That could go on Jaleel Abdul-Bassett. It's
Malik,
not. It's going to go on Manilok Malik. That's going to be his, I think it's his third personal. That's only the third team foul, though. And again, I said it earlier, but credit to the referees. Minute 20 to go in the third quarter. Neither team even close to being in the penalty. Letting them play. I like it.
Yeah, it has been really good. Really well officiated so far, for sure. And just a good tempo, right?
Great tempo.
Good physical game. Guys are going at it.
So we're going to get a Mitch Davis sighting again, but
I just want to say again that Post is a big dude.
He's huge.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, there is Mitch Davis coming in. Paul O'Lear is going to get a breather.
He just made Ebner look like a kindergarten kid or something.
Marty Nolan's going to check in for Jaleel Abdul-Bassett. Minute 20 to go. He's got 3. Let's see if Logan can get on the score sheet here. Cedar kicks it to Salicic in the corner for 3. That's off. There's a battle inside the paint. They're going to get an offensive foul. Not sure who they're giving that one to.
Yeah,
it looks like
on the big guy.
Going to go on Keanu Post. That's going to be his 4th personal, I think. No, 3rd. Good job, though, boxing out. You got to do the little things. Toowoomba's doing every little thing right here, and they've got this 9-point lead.
Yeah, and they often do, and I think, Anthony does a good job of squeezing every little bit of talent out of him, and they always compete.
Washington fouled from behind by Sam Johns.
A bonus now, yeah.
That's the 15th foul. Just as I say, no one's close to the penalty. That's Toowoomba's 5th, so Washington's going to go to the line for a couple free throw attempts.
And it's just great to see Jay Washington continually trying to get himself into the paint. Not always to score, but just by getting in there and getting 2 feet in the lane, he's put so much pressure on the defense, whereas I feel like that's might be against this zone what's missing with Logan.
Yeah.
They're playing perimeter offense. The bigs aren't getting too many touches, which credit the defense down the other end, but that's the difference for me at the moment. Toowoomba are able to get in the post and get their feet in the paint, distribute, attack from there, and it's just making like life difficult for Logan at the moment.
Yeah.
And do you stick with the zone, though? Yeah, I mean, why change out of it? But
no.
I think for now you have to. Yeah.
The other one is, I don't know how Jaleel has been naked on about, 4 threes in this quarter. You got to find him, right?
Washington missed both of those. He needed one at least. Ball goes out of bounds. That's a turnover.
He's really struggled tonight, hasn't
he? Yeah.
Sam Johns?
Yeah, he sure has.
Yeah, he's been aggressive trying to get into the paint. Just a bit overly aggressive on that last one. And again, Toowoomba playing this one at their own pace. They're running everything half court. Everything.
I mean, I would, if that's me, I'm telling, let's just see this position play out, and I'll give you my thought, but
3 seconds on the shot clock. Washington's going to have to put up a really deep one. It hits the front rim.
Just while I've got a minute, if I'm running an on-ball, I'd be telling whoever Tommy Amar's guarding, get out of there, bring post up, and let him guard the on-ball. And I'm attacking off that. You're going to get in the paint. You're going to be able to draw a cheap foul. Having Tommy Amar show takes away all the benefit of the on-ball because he can move his feet so well.
And even then, I think with this group, obviously coach is trying to get his guys as long as break as he can, sneaking into the fourth, but just bring out 2 or 3 of them for high on balls so Washington can go to work.
Cedar misses the 3. Washington has it. He might be able to get a shot off here. Good up and under. Left-handed layup is off, though. He got to the rim. That was dangerous, but nonetheless, Toowoomba is going to go into the break up 9, 61-52. Super impressive third quarter here from the Mountaineers.
That's an understatement, Johnny. 23-8, keeping this Logan team to 8 points for the quarter. I was wrong. I'd never expected that to happen tonight in any of the quarters, especially the championship quarter out of halftime. You want Logan to come out of energy, and it was the exact opposite. Toowoomba have come out pumped up. Their bench is up. They look like they really want this ball game, probably more than Logan do at the moment.
Yeah.
And I do like what Coach Corcoran's doing with his bench, the way that he's managing the game so far and his roster. He's getting the valuable minutes. Even though guys aren't playing big-time minutes, they're giving him value when they're on the court.
Yeah, no, they've done a really good job of getting that. And obviously, he's going to have to ride his starting 5 to the finish line. I actually like to see Davis play a bit more too. I mean, I know he's got 3 fouls, but it doesn't matter. I think when he's in, if he can give you 5 or 6 good minutes, he's in there changing shots.
Let's take a quick look at some of the statistics here for both teams. For the game so far, Logan shooting 47%, Toowoomba 42%. If we look at the rebounding statistics, it's 28-29. I'd love to see those offensive rebounds because Toowoomba did a really good job there in the third quarter on the O boards for the game. Toowoomba's got 11 offensive rebounds and their second chance points.
Well, let's have a look at the turnovers too, Johnny, while you're checking the stats. I mean, at halftime, Logan had 10, Toowoomba had 9. We come back 10 minutes later. Toowoomba have 10, so they had 1 that quarter. Logan coughed it up 9 times.
Yeah. 10 in the third quarter, so that's a really ugly quarter for Logan. The championship quarter, what do you think, guys? Is that it? What does Logan have to do here? They have to solve the zone in my books.
Yeah, just go back to the first quarter. Throw it all out. You're only down a little bit. Establish Mitchie Young again in the post and just be simple.
Keep it simple. Reverse the ball. On the wing, catch it. Take a dribble to the paint. Reverse it. The next guy, get your foot in the gap. Get in the seams. Draw the defense. All the stuff that we're taught as juniors. Just passing around the perimeter doesn't solve anything. You got to get your feet in the paint and attack this zone.
Toowoomba doing a good job scrambling. Good pump fake there by Carroll. He'll step into the jumper. It's strong. Good rebound and follow, though, by Amar. They needed that bucket to start the quarter. It's a 7-point lead now for Toowoomba.
Yeah, they did, and Hume just kind of got caught out of position there. Just a bit of experience. And sort of was boxing no one out.
And Davis gets the ball. He dives on it, recovers, though. Gets it over to Abdul-Bassett. 3-pointers up. That's good from Jalil Abdul-Bassett. There's a short closeout by Post. He made him pay.
Well, we said it might take him a little while to adjust to Australia, and maybe it was just a half.
64-54 the lead here for Toowoomba over Logan.
I think that's his 5th or 6th 3 of the game.
Carroll answers, though, on the other end. Sean Carroll can hit him as well. Crowd getting into it. I'm feeling this atmosphere, fellas.
Yeah,
it's going to be a good finish.
Gee, they needed that.
And Coach Corcoran going back to his big guys.
I was about to say, John, it's a great sub. Good coaching from Toowoomba.
Washington has it with Carroll on him. He wants the screen from Davis. There's the double. There's the show. Good ball reversal. Good kick.
Another good basketball play.
What a hit.
Gets rewarded.
Marty
Unselfish.
Nolan with the big three. Good creativity there by Abdul Bassett.
Really good to see. Good leadership there. I love seeing them getting played the right way.
Good
You love
looking.
to see the import just as excited for his teammate to hit a three as he is for himself.
Yeah.
Those are great signs.
Yeah. Because that doesn't happen a lot. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
I'm going to let the crowd do it here for us, guys. They're building the great atmosphere. Toowoomba needs to keep their composure with the guys up from the bench. Washington crossing over a few times. A lot of dribble here from Jay Washington. Hume's going to fire the baseline jumper too strong.
Yeah, probably. I don't mind the pace, but a little bit too much dribble. And then equally on the weak side for Toowoomba, you had Hume. You had Hume and Nolan doing nothing, and you just can't have that. They got to move at least.
And a good substitution, like we said, bringing in Alir Malik, Mitch Davis, and Sid Hume there. Gave him some solid minutes on the floor, but you could see they were a little bit limited offensively.
Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, and I think, you know, Coach Corcoran's just going to have to run a particular set when those guys are in, if he needs to spell these guys. Because you can just simplify it, have a horn set, and let Washington do his thing, or just run him off two on balls.
Good finish there from Young on the other end. Now Abdul Bassett has it. He's going to fire a three. That's good.
That is tough, fellas. To shoot the ball off a handle like that, that's a tough cover.
Yeah, well defended from Cedar.
It was greatly defended.
Cedar tried to answer on the other end, couldn't.
And these big fellas for Toowoomba have length. I know they need to get in the weight room, but those dudes are athletic.
Yeah.
With long arms. They're going to surprise some teams this year, maybe starting tonight.
Washington goes back to Abdul Bassett, loses the ball. They're going to call it jump ball. Possession arrow favors Toowoomba, so it's going to stay with the Mountaineers with 9 seconds to go on the shot clock. Do you just keep going to Abdul Bassett?
Damn right.
He's got to touch it every time.
Well, you have to go to him, but you can't just settle. Like that last move is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You can't settle for him going ISO, ISO, ISO and expecting to get a. You got to help him get open looks. If you can run him off some down picks or whatever it is that you got to do to get him looks within your system, the more open looks you get him, the worse it's going to be for Logan. So you can't stand, you can't just watch him do his thing like that last possession. Although he's capable, if you can work him into the offense and get him some open looks, they're in trouble. The other thing that does is he's such a focus now, that opens up the role. So go, big fella, go set a pick, down pick and open up. You'll be open because everyone's going to help out on the shooter so hard. So.
And equally, I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think Mitchie had 9 shots in the first quarter. He's only got 12 now. So, not enough touches. And I swear this was deja vu for us in another Logan game last year, right? Great start early, and then forget number 3.
Washington gets it in with the left-handed floater with 2 seconds to go on the shot clock. Guys, I said it before, but I'm really impressed with the way Washington's playing tonight.
Well, Abdul Bassett, as you see Toowoomba's defense continue to give Logan headaches.
Alir loses it out of bounds. They're going to say it went off of his foot. After Mitch Young stripped it, he didn't like the call. You didn't like it either, Dave.
No, it didn't look like what happened, but Logan need a bit of a break here. Keep the crowd engaged.
It's a 13-point lead here for Toowoomba. 6:30 to go. Someone needs to step up. Is it Mick Cedar? His three-pointer is off. Malik skies for another board.
And again, Johnny, everything is a jump shot. There is no penetration. I don't think I've seen.
When was the last time they got into the lane?
Yeah, they don't.
When do you get into the paint?
Well, they did get into Mitch Young, and he scored in the paint.
Yeah.
Abdul Bassett from the other side. That's another three. That's good. Abdul Bassett is out of his mind tonight, folks. Coach Corcoran uncorked a beauty in Jalil Abdul-Bassett.
That's much better offense.
Tommy
Much
Amar
better
with the
offense.
follow.
Yeah, good
They
job.
got the ball to the high post. At least they penetrated that zone and then kick it up for an open shot, hit the glass. Much better offense, but they need stops. Someone find Abdul-Bassett in a hurry.
Good energy from Toowoomba defensively, and a good job by Tommy Amar hitting the glass.
Not sure what they called there. It looked like it was off the ball. They're going to call Marty Nolan with an illegal screen, trying to get Jalil Abdul-Bassett open.
I'll give you a tip, Marty. Just stand still. He'll do the work.
He's done a great job tonight. 5:30 to go in the game. 75-61. Does Logan have the comeback in him?
Well, they've still got time, so they just need to chip away one possession at a time.
Here's that penetration. Good ball movement. Cedar three is good.
But see what the penetration does? You have to get in the paint to score, but if you get the ball in the paint, dribble penetration pass, it opens everything up against the zone.
And Mick Cedar thanking himself. Finally, he said, finally I got one to go down.
Yeah.
Let's see if that's the spark they needed.
I think interesting to see if Coach Corcoran, that's a kick for sure. I think he'll blow a timeout here and maybe settle the troops and say, listen, we're up 11. Here's the plan.
Yeah, I'd give it one possession here. If they can get another bucket here, you let it ride out.
Yeah.
He went to the substitution. Jason Ebner is going to check in for Marty Nolan.
I think we run a set, get Abdul-Bassett another look. Abdul-Bassett's been lights out, amazing, but I've just been impressed with the tempo that they've managed to control through Jay Washington. He's made sure that they've played. Unlucky not to get the M1.
Yeah.
He's made sure they've played at the pace of game that Toowoomba have wanted to play.
I'm the same similar with you, Thunder. I think you want to try and run some decoy now. I mean, if Jalil, still hot, come off, but then that's where a lot of the attention is, and Malik and Paul Lear open up. B threats, that's also where, they can get some cheap buckets.
No doubt about it. I mean, look at the length of like a Paul Lear. Go set a hard down pick and then flash to the hoop. One of you is going to be open.
Yeah, what Washington, he throws darts from the foul line, huh?
He sure does.
Those things are flat.
He needs to hit his free throws tonight because he's going to spend a bit of time at the free throw line. He's he's 2 of 5 from the free throw line. 3 of 6. So when you handle the ball, you got to be able to hit your free throws, especially late in the game.
Yeah. That's my only criticism of him so far. He's had a whale of a game.
12-point lead here for Toowoomba. We got about 4:40 to go in the game. Johns throws up the little teardrop. That doesn't fall. Fighting for the rebound, and Abdul-Bassett comes down with it.
Broken record, but they got to look for Mitch Young and get Mick Cedar in the game. It's pretty simple.
And Mitch Young's he shouldn't have to do this necessarily, but he's got to do a harder job of demanding the rock.
Yeah.
Like seal up hard and yell for that. Like we should be able to hear him here.
There's 5 on the shot clock. Good look inside. That was a bad pass, though, from Washington. He forced it. Cedar has it now.
Like right here, Mitch Young's got to step in and demand the rock.
Nice job from Tommy Amar. Good kick. Good look from Cedar.
Just can't get it to go down. They're living and dying by the three-pointer tonight are the Logan Thunder. That's their 26th three-point attempt of the night. Only hit 6.
Fadeaway coming.
Abdul-Bassett throws up one. That's off. Young comes up with it. Kicks ahead for Cedar. They got numbers here. Good kick for Goldfinch. His 3 is too strong, though. And Abdul-Bassett, no, Tommy Amar diving for it. It winds up with Washington. Washington Euro step. A lot of contact, and he's going to go to the line for 2 shots.
Good job from Washington in transition.
I thought he was going to bring it back out and run clock, but he went to the basket hard and got fouled. Coach Rucker is going to take a timeout. We'll take one as well. 3:30 to go in the game. Logan down 12, 76-64 on QBL basketball, presented to you by Live Sport Australia and Nothing But Net Media. All right, back with you here at Cornubia Sports Complex. 76-64 the lead. 3:30 to go in the game. Let's take a quick look at some stats. And for Logan, you see them guys struggling from three-point land. 6 of 26, only 23%. I see you pointing there at Mitch Young. What do you say, Dave?
No, I'm actually pointing at Salicic, 0 of 5. He's got 5 assists. I guess he's sharing the ball, but I expect more from him, to be honest.
And I'm pointing at Tommy Amara at the same time, who's 5 for 5. When he gets the ball in the high post, good passer, good shooter, he can rebound from that spot. And if you're not going to demand the rock through Mitch Young, or if Cedar's not shooting well, you've got to look to run the ball through the high post and let him facilitate from there.
Let's take a look at Toowoomba, guys, and it's all about Jalil Abdul-Bassett. 32 points, 8 of 14 from 3 tonight. This has been one of the more impressive performances I've seen in the QBL in years.
Yeah, it's nice. And again, you got good contributions from Malik and Paul Alir as well. And I think, Mitch Davis has come in and given them some good minutes off the bench.
Mitch Young gave up an offensive rebound on a foul shot. You're not going to win games, let alone titles, if that happens.
Washington wants the screen from Alir. He goes away from it, gets his feet in the paint, flips it up with the left hand. It's off. Young comes down with it. Stolen, though, by Washington.
Wow.
But he stepped out of bounds.
Give the man credit. That is...
I'm going to call him for a foul, actually, as he reached in from behind. That's his third personal.
Man, I know Jalil Abdul-Bassett has been amazing, but Jay Washington has been super impressive to me.
Yeah.
3:15 to go in the game. Logan down 13 at home in their home opener. Johns gets in the paint, dumps it in for Young. Young shuffled his feet, but they're going to say he was fouled before he got the shot off.
Wow. I'm with you.
Giving that to Abdul-Bassett, his fourth personal.
Johns looked like he had 3 or 4 steps.
Sure did.
Before he even took off.
He sure did.
So Mitch Young going to go to the line for a couple shots here. His team down 13.
Interesting my Salicic comments, because maybe Ruck agrees, because he's got Goldfinch in clutch, and not Salicic, which is interesting that he's playing the young kid. He's done a good job tonight too.
Now an 11-point lead.
Sorry, Johnny. It's interesting too with the big fella Post still on the bench too. You wouldn't be surprised to see him come in and see if he can make an impact the last minute or two.
I think Coach Rucker is going to try and speed things up here. He's going full court pressure, and he's put Amar on Washington. I like that move.
Well, he has to, but he's got to be able to get stops too.
They got to get some consecutive stops here in this next minute, or they're done.
Washington brings it over to the right side with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Goes to Abdul-Bassett. Puts it on the deck. Finds Ebner in the corner. He's in trouble. There's 2. He's got to get a shot off. Washington throws it up. That's a shot clock violation. So there's the first stop from Logan.
Yeah.
That wasn't the prettiest of possessions for Toowoomba.
No, it's good scrapping and a good timeout because they needed it, because that was ugly.
It's a great timeout, but if you're going to get a turnover, if you're a Toowoomba, make it a 24-second
yeah,
violation.
Absolutely. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's okay.
2:37 to go, guys. Coach Corcoran takes a timeout. Let's keep it here, though. Dave, Coach Corcoran, what does he got to do to bring his team home? Up 11 with 2:37 to go on the road.
Well, this is where they haven't really ran a great deal of stuff tonight. They've just moved the ball okay, good spacing, etc. Washington's been tough. This is where now Toowoomba, if they want to be a decent team this year, they need to execute. How are they going to go get him the ball? How are they going to get him the ball? How are they going to put Washington in a position to use his skills to create something? Because the last maybe couple of minutes, they've looked pretty ugly themselves. So I think that's the bit where Corcoran's going to have to clean that up if they want to be a contender this year.
Dan, what do you think Coach Rucker's got to do for Logan? 2:37 to go. They're down 11. They seem to be bringing a little bit of momentum back into the game.
Well, I think you got to play fast, but you can't play out of control. So I'm going to butcher this, but be quick but don't rush, I think is one of the quotes.
Yeah.
So they got to come down and go, quick on balls, double on ball, Mitch Young, Amar Hornset, quick look. Get in the paint, get to the foul line, stop the clock. They got to look for quick possessions, but it can't be out of control.
I like that. Good analysis, guys. That's what we bring you here on Live Sport Australia, Nothing But Net Media. John's going to fire a 3. He hits it. That's
nice
a big
hit.
bucket out of the timeout.
Yeah, really good hit.
And here's the pressure again. Let's see how Toowoomba handles it.
That's a soft foul, that one.
Yeah, well sold.
And
Well
McCedar
sold.
gets called. That's his 4th personal, the 3rd team foul here for Logan.
And this pressure from Logan could go one or two ways. We could see a couple of layups by Toowoomba if they break it, or we could see them really struggle to get into their stuff.
Let's see what happens here. The lead is back to single digits now. It's 8 points, the lead for Toowoomba. Washington gets into the paint again, keeps his dribble alive though, finds Aaliyah, top of the key, goes at Young. Layup missed. Malik comes up with it. His follow is no good, but he tips it again, back up and in.
You got to box out.
That was good defense that gave up that 3rd opportunity.
Yeah.
And then a tough pass there from Cedar.
Another turnover. I tell you what, for any of those young fellas watching at home here on this side out of bounds, Jay Washington, nice and low, always aggressive, always probing, done a fantastic job tonight.
And his change of pace game is nice too. Like, he'll get to the foul line, stop for a moment, then keep going. And I think if you're going to be effective, you have to go to play at multiple speeds like that. I think often we go head down, we're one speed. We're shooting a 3 or we're getting a layup. That mid-range game that Jay Washington's showing is pretty hard to stop.
And his crossover is snapping it nicely.
Malik, free throw line jumper is short. Carroll comes up with it. Logan down 10. Johns wants it, goes inside for Young. He struggles to catch, recovers. His layup attempt is off.
That's a really big miss. Great to see Mitch Young get a look, but a minute and a half left to cut it to 8. That's a really big possession.
Now they just run the clock. You get a shot, it doesn't really matter.
Abdul Bassett.
Well, it matters to that man because he is chasing numbers right now. But
great board and the foul there by Paul Aaliyah, folks. That could be it.
Yeah.
That's a killer there from Aaliyah.
Wow.
Well, that is it.
Toowoomba come down from the range.
I am shocked right now.
And they, we said Toowoomba by 15, right?
Well, you said Logan. You said Logan by 15.
Check the tape, Johnny. Check the tape. I'm pretty sure I said Toowoomba by 15. No. In all seriousness, I did not expect this result at all. But you've got to give these guys credit. Jay Washington's controlled the tempo. We did say in our defense, if they can play at their pace, they're a chance. But we didn't expect them to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But they have.
And they came away with it in the second half. They've absolutely dominated the second half of play here as Johns hits a jumper. Team down 11.
Logan need more out of Sam Johns if they're going to make noise this season too. But let's hope they can learn from this. But
good pass inside. Aaliyah's fouled hard.
That's a good foul.
Yeah.
Like the first quarter, Logan looked all right, executing stuff, but they seem to have got away from that.
Yeah, fourth quarter, Logan again cleaned it up a little bit. Only 2 turnovers, which is better than the previous 10 in the third. But the damage was done, and so.
Well, it's almost like we're talking in reverse because we said Toowoomba are going to be able to come out and know who they're going to get the ball to. Whereas it seems like Logan have to say, we want Mitch Young to get 6 shots a quarter. How are we going to do it?
Yeah.
And part of that's on Mitch Young to step in and demand it and present himself. But they've got to know what they're executing and why they're doing it. Who are we going to get looks for here? Because they seem to be a bit lost tonight in terms of who's going to get shots.
And I think too, game 2 for Logan this year, post 11 points, 12 rebounds off the bench. He was nice. They got to work out how to integrate him into their offense. And exactly how that will work. I mean, I think he could have played a bit more tonight. Really, I think 22 minutes.
He had great energy. I thought he did a good job.
Should be playing 30.
And I must, we got to give, we're talking a lot about Logan, but let's give credit where credit's due. Jalil Abdul-Bassett basically took over this game in the third quarter. Yeah. And Toowoomba, as a team, just brought the energy and their game in the second half to run away with it. I was with you guys. I thought Toowoomba was going to struggle tonight, but I've been really impressed with the way they've played. Coach Corcoran, I thought, has coached a great game managing the team and his rotations. He really did a great job tonight.
Yeah, and Jalil's got 33 now, going for point number 34. Terrific performance from him. Sharing the ball too, really impressed with some of his leadership and maturity as well.
Well, he's got 34 the right way.
Yeah.
He hasn't got it by forcing shots. He's been really good tonight.
There's Young. Layup attempt is off.
The length of
Malik and Ali have really bothered Young tonight.
The length of them has really given Mitch Young the fits. You can see him then. Just got up as quick as he could because he knows he's got shot blockers around him. That surprises me.
I'd take it to their chest and smack it on them. That's what he needs to be doing. He's got
Well, it's like a drug. When you block a shot, you're addicted. Just up fake.
Yeah.
Just basic stuff. Up fake, jump into the body, get an M1.
Don't forget, guys, next week we will be back broadcasting yet again. We've got the grand final rematch. Cairns coming back down, and they're revisiting NAB Stadium in Auchenflower to take on the Capitals in a grand final rematch. That'll be live on Live Sport Australia and presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. And Toowoomba will be taking on Rockhampton, while Logan will be taking on the USC Rip. Guys.
Is our match Saturday night, Johnny?
I think so.
Prime time.
But really, let's get back to this game here, and credit where credit's due. Toowoomba comes down to Logan and absolutely hands it to the Thunder in the second half. They're going to walk away with a 17-point win, 88-71. I can't say enough at how impressed I was by Toowoomba tonight. Jay Washington was an SBL player last year. He couldn't get on the court for the Pirates. How was he not in the QBL last season?
That's a good call, Johnny. I agree.
He was amazing tonight. Abdul Bassett was great. The two big guys, Alir and Malik, were fantastic, both defensively and offensively. They didn't really force things. They took what was given to them, and they capitalized on it.
Yeah, really impressive, and a great second half defensively for Toowoomba. Holding them to, holding them to 27.
Yeah, in the second half. I mean,
that
third quarter they went to that zone. It gave Logan absolute fits, and then they just held on really in that fourth quarter. They took the few punches that Logan threw. They maintained their balance, and then they pulled away at the end.
Yeah, I mean, second half, 50-27, Toowoomba.
Yeah, it was all Toowoomba in the second half. Logan had absolutely no answer. Credit where credit's due. Toowoomba won that game. Dan, what are your final thoughts of the matchup and the game tonight?
Well, you fellas have covered it. All those things you said, I agree with 100%. Even small things. I mean, Toowoomba played 6 guys, basically. But you even had someone like Mitch Davis, who came in for 5 minutes, at least through the first 3 quarters, had a couple of minutes in the fourth as well. Doesn't play a lot, but he comes in, and those minutes are quality minutes. Plays his role, plays good defense, got a couple of boards, which is just enough to give these other guys a quick breather. So if you can get small contributions like that while these other bigger names can do their thing like they're doing, they play their style, they know who's going to get the looks. If you look at the shot attempts, I mean, Jay Washington had 14 shots, Abdul Bassett has 24. They know who's going to get looks. I'm super impressed. I underestimated them, and I can't say enough about them in terms of how well they played and how impressive they were.
Yeah, so Toowoomba's got the tough matchup next week with Rockhampton, and then Logan has the Rip. They're walking into week 3 0-2. I don't think Coach Rucker would have expected that heading into the QBL season.
Is that up there, Johnny?
I think it is at USC.
And again, they're a new group coming together, so that'll be a real tough game for the Logan boys as well.
The same problems that Logan had tonight, they're going to have against the Rip. You got Izzy Tueta and Lance Hurdle in the backcourt, very similar to Jay Washington and Abdul Bassett. If they can't figure out how to control tempo and how to shut down penetration, if Jay Washington can walk into the paint all game, Izzy Tueta can as well, and if they can't stop him from doing that, they're in trouble potentially.
Yeah, they really they really struggled guarding Washington tonight. His speed really hurt him, and I remember talking to Coach Rucker postseason, and he needed to shore up his point guard position, and that's what he wanted. But I think Salicic is a nice addition, but defensively they got to find out who's going to defend the one for them now, because Sean Carroll did an okay job, Salicic did an okay job, but against the guys like Twitter and Vines and Tees of the world, Logan might struggle.
Yeah, you look at the statistics for Toowoomba. Toowoomba finished shooting 44% from the field, 46% from 3. They were 11 of 24. 8 of those 11 were Jalil Abdul Bassett. He finished with 34 points, 6 rebounds, and an assist. Jay Washington, 19 points, 5 assists, 6 turnovers, but I'll take it. If he's going to turn the ball over 6 times and have that game, I'll take it.
Diamond guys up too, didn't quite catch it. So that's probably 2 or 3 turnovers, really.
And he deserved 10-plus assists if guys catch.
Yeah, another double-double for Paul Alir, 13 points.
8 O-boards.
8 O-boards from Paul Alir. Malik had 15 and 8. Just a great job overall by Toowoomba. Look at Logan. Mitch Young led the way with 19 points and 11 rebounds. Then you look at Mick Cedar, finished with 11 on 4 of 13 shooting. Keanu Post, I thought he was good in his minutes. 11 points
good.
and 12 rebounds.
Yeah.
He only played 22 minutes. I think in this competition, when you bring in guys as imports, they shouldn't be playing less than 30.
Well, he wasn't blowing either. I didn't think Thunder as a big guy.
He called for a foul. Called for a foul. He called for a sub one time.
Yeah.
That was in the first half, I think.
Yeah.
After he'd had his dunk that almost ripped the board off. But I agree with you, Johnny. If you're going to pay someone to come in here, you're going to lean on them to be one of your studs, and he needs to be playing 30 minutes of dominant defensive basketball and O-boarding. He should be getting 4 or 5 O-boards a game on average. If he doesn't, I'm not sure he's the right fit.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us. I got to thank Chris Eber on the camera, Regan Baker on the production panel, my commentators, Dan George, Dave Derwin. Guys, don't forget, tune in next week. We'll be live with the grand final rematch on Live Sport Australia, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Each and every week, live QBL basketball. Guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.